Welcome back, everybody. It's Sport Federation TV. By now, you know, of course, because you're watching us here on Cape Town TV. We're talking about sport in the province, and of course, you know, equestrian sports is one of the codes we have on a regular basis. Gymkhana, show jumping, tent pegging, Western mounted games, so many different sport codes in the equestrian space. But one of the codes that we had such a fantastic conversation with not so long ago was, of course, the guys from the Lipizzaners. Jhani van der Berg is back in studio with us. Jhani, welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me. It's so lovely being back.
I'm going to go with that theme again, that we have to remind people that the Lipizzaners are in Cape Town.
We have now been here since 2021, and what makes us so special is we are one of, you know, technically 2 schools left in the entire world. And
Wow.
Here we are in the mother city. Not only that, but the horses we have here are quite literally date back about 600 years. So they're living history and art.
You got to pause there for us. Go back for me just 15 seconds. What are Lipizzaners?
So I always use the magical story of the princess locked up in the tower. Long, long ago, Prince Maximilian, or Emperor Maximilian, had a princess up in a tower. He needed a brave white horse to help him slay the dragon so he could rescue his beloved princess. But being the smart man he was, he needed, you know, again, I use this is a very good example for all of our South African Buddha here in South Africa. He needed a Hilux, but he couldn't afford the diesel for a Hilux, so he bred himself a Jhani. Far more economical, but just as spunky, just as brave, and couldn't get any job done as well. Those horses were then bred, and they were quite literally used for war. They were war machines, you know, with movements that helped them jump through lines, decapitate foot soldiers even, you know, and because of their pearly white coats, they had a military advantage of being seen on the battlefield. If you think about all those horrible war movies, you know, it's very dark. So a general standing on his brave white stallion stands out in a great contrast.
So the Lipizzaners is it a specific breed of horse?
They are. So they are one of the oldest horse breeds in the world. So they are about 600 years old, and now they are here in South Africa. So
would I be able to spot the difference if I take 2 horses and put them next to each other? Can you see the difference?
I, for instance, would be able to, but generally a lot of white horses could possibly trace back. However, Lipizzaners are white. Technically, we in the equestrian world call them grey, but they have something called a Roman nose, which is a nose that's just a little bit sloped. It's not as sharp as you would see on race horses and things like that. But generally, if you see any of them here in Paarl, I promise you it's probably a Lipizzaner.
And is there something unique about Lipizzaners and their activity? Are they faster? Are they stronger? Are they smarter?
I'd like to say they are smarter, but they were bred for war. They are built quite compactly. They have shorter legs, quite a sturdy body, but they have quite the engine behind them to be able to jump and leap and do all these things.
Now the Lipizzaners, though, is very much about showing off, showing the horses. You've got Lipizzanos stables. This is at Mystico in the Paarl region.
Yes.
And you have that open to the public where people can come and watch. Am I right so far?
You are 100%. So the South African Lipizzaners are now homed at Mystico Equestrian Centre, and we regularly do performances to showcase all of these movements that were used in the art of war. So we do a lot of formation riding, something, again, that would be used in battle. We're very well known for our airs above the ground, which is, like you were saying, where horses jump and leap up and do all these things. But we're also known as the ballet of the white stallions. So at the end of the item, we have our school quadrille, which is almost the height of their training with us. And it quite literally looks like the horses are dancing to music.
So we recently spoke to Jhani from South Africa Western Mounted Games, and they compete on a regular basis. They compete, and they obviously have to train and prepare, so they go to their competitions. And in most of your sport codes, they also compete and prepare for their provincial championships and national championships. The Lipizzaners are not really competition. It's much more showing off.
They are, however,
we do also have to compete.
We have a few of our horses that do compete. Some of our horses do hold some South African titles. So some of our horses are competing this weekend actually at Mystico Equestrian.
What would they compete in?
Anything.
Is it a Lipizzaner competition?
So actually they go in all of the different disciplines of the equestrian sport. There are some who show jump. There are some who do showing. Some do actually do some Western Mounted Games or, you know, anything
But
like
at
that.
Mystico,
This weekend
those-
specifically,
what you do there is
dressage
Right.
mostly. The Lipizzaners are known for doing high school classical dressage, so we train very classically like that.
So if I pitch up there on a Saturday and I want to come and see it, and I know you've got specific days that you have big shows and that, but you can fill me in on that. What would I typically come and see? What would I see if I arrive at Mystico and I'm here to see the Lipizzanos? I'm not seeing competition. I'm seeing something different.
You are seeing training that has been passed through by word of mouth for over 600 years. So
Yeah.
we still do training specifically like it was done for battle. We train in formation lines and things like that, very similar to any flight formation you would see with the South African Air Force. Very
So do I
similar.
arrive there and I get a hot dog and a popcorn and
We're very fortunate. We
Yeah.
even now have our very own restaurant, the kitchen at Mystico Equestrian Centre. So you can pop down there, grab something to eat, and then
Yeah.
you can drive up. Luckily, we are indoors for those rainy Cape Town season, and then you can watch the horses train. That
is
can
there
be.
certain times? Is there sort of a
We
show
are
time
we are
starts?
there
and-
from about 8 until 1 o'clock during the day, and then
Yeah.
on weekends the same. However, you can always contact our office, and then we can arrange a private tour where we'll go even further into our
Yeah.
history. You can see some of the behind the scenes, and of course, meet the Lipizzanas themselves.
You've also done a lot of work in terms of the development and making sure that the equestrian sports is open for people to join. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we are incredibly fortunate. We have a sponsorship from First Round,
Yeah.
and they have sponsored a student program with us for the last 9 years. Now,
Wow.
this program is something I came through myself, but it is ultimately, the program is aimed at 8 riders from a previously disadvantaged background, who the only qualification we really need is your passion for horses.
It's amazing.
And from that, you join the program. We teach you through the QASA levels, which is the Qualifications Association here in South Africa. You earn your first and second levels, which then qualifies you to be a head groom here in South Africa. But the important thing is these qualifications are also valid overseas.
Yeah.
So we have lots of students who come, who might not be here for the riding aspect of it or the performance, but are here for the experience.
Yeah.
They go on to then work at stud farms, you know, South African stud farms. We actually have a student who has now gone to New Zealand and she's running one of the racehorse studs there. We have another who is now a driver with a very good partner of ours, New Turf Carriers, who also, you know, and it's not so much about producing maybe more members or athletes for the different disciplines, but creating individuals who can then help us grow the other sports.
That's amazing. What is next on the cards for you guys? Or is it scheduled shows that come up at certain times? Or
You know, we've got scheduled shows. Obviously, we've got a classical performance, which is very much what we are known for. It's something we've done here in South Africa for the last 70 years.
Yeah.
That will be at the end of this month, so the 31st of May. However, on the cards for us, we'd love to travel. We'd love to come and visit more towns, more places, show more people what the Lipizzanas
So is that
are.
something that you do? You take the Lipizzanas on the road?
We do. We travel. New Turf Carriers loads us all. It's purposely red-colored. It works great for us. Matches us
Amazing.
head to toe. And then we go wherever
So how
we
does
want
that
to.
work? I mean, is it a farm or a city or a town or someone? They phone you up and say, will you bring the Lipizzanas to our town?
Very much. If you have,
Yeah.
if you invite us, we'll make a plan to get there. You know, we were just in Noordhoek
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago. We've gone to Stellenbosch. I know we've got some plans to go head to Saldanha later in the year, but I know those dates are still being confirmed. And then in December, we do often try and travel down the garden route. But this year, we'd really like to focus here in our home area, you know, travel
Yeah.
to some more
Amazing.
places here in Cape Town itself, make it a little bit easier for you all to see us.
That's fantastic. So if you're watching the show, the mayors, town mayors, festival organizers, they can all get hold of you, right?
Of course they can.
Yeah.
They can contact us on 079 716 4792. Then our lovely office staff will help you. You can visit our website or you can email us, stallion@lipizzanas.co.za.
stallion@lipizzanos.co.za.
That's
Jhani,
one.
it's been amazing to have you in studio with us again.
Thank you so much.
We can't wait to get you back. Amazing news that the Lipizzanas travel. The Lipizzanas are available for bookings. And of course, if we want to come and watch the show, the next show is on 31st of May.
Correct, 11:30. We'll see you there.
11:30 at Mystico. Sounds amazing. Right, folks, there's a kitchen there as well. Come and join us. 31st of May at Mystico. You can go and watch the Lipizzanas in their unique show. Jhani, thank you very much again. Can't wait to get you back.
Thank you so much for having me.
There we go, folks. So, yeah, look out for the Lipizzanas. As we mentioned, they're at Mystico, part of Western Cape Equestrian Sports. And, yeah, who knew you can book the Lipizzanas to go to a festival, bring them to a town. What an amazing opportunity to give exposure to the equestrian sports world. We'll be back after the break. Don't go away.